Good morning, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel. It is currently 7:51 in the morning and I was thinking for today's video I would take you through my morning routine. And yes, it is my actual morning routine. It is really important for me to have a routine, especially when there's not really a place to go or people to see. And so having this little routine helps keep me on track. So let's do some yoga. Let's put these dishes away. I have dishes to do, a little tidying up in the living room. And then I also figured we do a little bit of a hand study. I don't think I've ever officially done. No, that's not true. I have done it. I started a little series, I think about a year ago, where I challenged myself to kind of practice anatomy. And I was like, for like 3 weeks, I'm going to do faces. And then 3 weeks, I'm going to do arms and hands and the body and the torso, whatever. And I only got through 2 months worth of it. I never really got to hands. So we'll practice hands in a little low pressure environment and see how we do it. So yeah, come join me. Let's start with a yoga practice and then we'll make our way through the rest of the routine and on to the hand study. I've actually been practicing yoga at this point for, I would say, over 10 years. And I was actually an avid yogi for a while. I would say definitely for about 9 years straight. I did 2 years of just straight yoga practice, and then I made some friends. 2 of them decided to take the yoga teacher certification course that was offered through that studio. And I always had toyed with the thought of being able to practice and teach, but I was always so scared. And when they signed up for it that year, I was like, if they can do it, why can't I, right? So the following year, I signed up for the teacher training program, and it was incredible. It was like the best 9 months ever. We met like 3 days a week, so it was a really long process, and it was really good because everything just kind of got to marinate. You got to really live the experience. It was lovely. In the middle of doing the yoga teacher training, another girl in my class, she wanted to do a Pilates mat certification through Equinox. Pilates mat was a singular weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so in the middle of doing my yoga teacher training certification, I also did Pilates mat certification. And I was like, what am I doing? But honestly, it was great to kind of knock it all out because the yoga really did help, at least like with the teaching portion and some of the cues that you would give in any other fitness class. And at that time I was taking Pilates mat classes as well, and I really loved it. So I was like, it would be great to do like a marriage between the two. So it all worked out. And I got my teacher training certifications, and then I proceeded to teach for 7 years. I was able to teach yoga and Pilates at the yoga studio that I called my home base, which is where I did my yoga teacher training. I got to sub for a lot of teachers. I was able to teach at other studios. I got a gig to teach corporate yoga. I got private clients. It was great. it was a wonderful 7 years. But then, things happened. The world shut down in 2020. And it was just harder after we came out of the pandemic. I was a little bit different. I just had other things I was focusing my attention on. Kind of went through a bit of a shift where I just didn't really want to teach at that time. And even my own personal yoga practice just fell off. I really enjoyed going in person to yoga classes, and the idea of having to do them through online or Zoom calls, it just really took me out of the experience. So I stopped teaching and I stopped taking classes. Fast forward to now, because I'm home, living the sedentary lifestyle is very hard for me. And by very hard for me, I mean very easy, as in it's very easy to sit on your butt all day long on the computer, working, not moving, not going outside, and it doesn't translate well for my body. My body really starts to stiffen up, and I've been experiencing a little bit of pain and weakness in my muscles. So yoga is a great way to reintroduce movement, and I'm really happy that I found this teacher, Yoga with Adrienne, because she reminds me so much of the teachers that I used to take. I had some amazing teachers, and I loved the way they taught, and I loved the way that I was taught to teach. I've gone to other yoga studios, and I haven't found a home yet. I haven't found a teacher that I've really connected with. That's been difficult because I do crave the studio. I do crave the community of it. So until I can really find another space to call home, Yoga with Adrienne is great. She's fantastic. She's everything that I like to experience within a yoga class. So wait, what time is it right now? It is 9:08. I'm gonna go shower and then get on going with the rest of the chores. So as soon as I opened up Procreate and started going through my stacks, I realized that I did start doing hands, but I only did one before I gave up. But I do have 3 weeks of heads and 3 weeks of arms and torso. I'm really trying to level up as an artist. I'm trying to find ways to speed up my processes, like line art, rendering, coloring. So like all of it. I am trying to level up all of it because I'm just like not very confident as an artist. My lines are not confident. My strokes are not confident. My vision isn't even confident at times. All of it needs to level up. All of it. And I've never done the whole like circle for the head and then drawing the line down this, and then drawing the line down the center and across. Like I don't normally draw this way. I've always kind of just winged it. I just kind of went for it. How about that? I don't have systems in place to get the shot, if you know what I mean. I don't know any type of jargon. I don't know. Instead of me just winging it, that's a word, that much I know. Maybe if I get some more processes under my belt, maybe I can focus on other things like rendering and coloring and line art and all of it. So I wanted to show a past example, and overall with how this piece turned out, I absolutely love it. I love the way I did the skin. I mean, like, look at that. I mean, it's subtle, but you can see like cheekbone. But the one thing that just really irks me is the hand. Look in comparison to this man's hand versus what I did. So I feel like the shape is there, the kind of placement is somewhat okay, but you can see like how the finger bends over the curve. It kind of disappears a little bit, and I even like hid this finger right here. I hid that one behind the hair because I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then overall, you can see that this man's hand, you can see that this man's hand is a lot thicker and meatier. You can especially see it in the fingers, right? My fingers on this dude are like way too slender, way too delicate looking. So this is an example of how I just eyeball it and hope for the best. So I chose a picture of a hand I found on Pinterest. You know how this was supposed to be a hand study? I think I'm gonna make it a hand competition. Can my style of drawing hands outdo proper technique? I can already tell you who's gonna win that one. So I was originally gonna do 3 methods. I was going to do the way I normally draw and then 2 other potential techniques. But then when looking into the 2 other techniques, they kind of looked similar. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna marry these 2 together and then have a face-off, because this is no longer a hand study. So I will minimize this and then denote this as mine. We'll call it the Gabby method. Just wing it. So there's my version. Okay, like if you were to look at them side by side, you'd be able to say, ah, this is a picture of the same hand. Fair, right? I'm gonna try the second method, which is drawing oven mitts with circles. I think I need more practice. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. First, it's more of a square, whereas this one has more of a rectangle, so definitely there's more length there. Definitely struggled with the thumb, whether it was this first thumb or the second thumb. Those don't look that great. I would say that the second thumb is a little more natural looking, and take that with a grain of salt, because there is definitely more emphasis on the joint of the thumb in the second versus in the first. The thumb just looks fully extended, and that is not what is indicated in the photo. Okay, notice what I struggle with here is the perception of an angle. See in the reference photo how this pinky is a lot shorter and kind of further out than the ring finger. And if you can see in my drawing, I definitely almost put them on the same level, like plane, as essentially denoting that they're at the same height, which is not true. Definitely the same goes for the second, so I didn't really improve there. I would say I like the length of the back of the hand of the second attempt, but I prefer the way I drew the fingers in the first attempt. It seems to be a lot more accurate to the depiction of the original photo. So I guess what I'm learning over here is that there has to be a combo of the two, which I guess would make sense for art in general. I mean, it can't all be technique, right? It has to be some personal flair. And I'm not by any means saying that this is woof, next level stuff, but definitely a combo of the two. Should I do another one? Yeah, I think I'll do another one. Here's the second photo. I've definitely chosen photos that are not too complicated, like perspective and angles, because the goal of the video today is not to embarrass myself, but to learn, right? Okay, let's go. Okay, not the worst. So we're just gonna name this again. So right off the bat, you know what I'm going for, but it's definitely nowhere near close to the original. This is a very accurate depiction of what my hand drawings look like at the first go. And then I go over them and I refine them, and then they look great. Time for technique. This is not any better. So what I'm going to try to do here is denote the shapes of the hand like I've been doing, and seeing where those markers fall on the actual hand versus what I did, and seeing if there's any similarities there. Off the bat, we can see that there's a way sharper angle. Right here is a perfect example of what I struggle with, because as you can see with my image here, the knuckle farthest away from us is going to disappear, and each corresponding knuckle gets a bit more revealed as it gets closer to you. So there's clearly an angle there. I did not denote those angles in my version of this hand, which essentially is the same case with the above hand as well, the Gabby method hand. What happened if I did the line art for the red hand? This looks way better than the other two. I can definitely see the merit of taking a hand reference and breaking it up into shapes, quadrants, joints, lines, whatever have you, and then to practice from that point onward. The Gabby method is obsolete. That's cool though. I like this way better, honestly. I can see my skills at drawing hands leveling up through this method. So I'm gonna give that a good practice on my own time and report back whenever I feel confident enough. If you've stayed this long, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.